I don't think I've ever opened Instagram and come back feeling that I'm doing enough in life. It doesn't matter what I go there for, maybe just to forward a stupid reel to my friend or to just check a message, but 5 minutes later, I just see myself having entered this really weird black hole where I'm bombarded with the fact that I'm not enough. Eat healthier, work out, read books, do yoga, do Pilates, do meditation. 5 ways to make your life better, 5 ways to get rich, and by the end of it, before it is even 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm already a failure. Hi everyone, welcome back to Unfiltered Reveries, and today is our official first episode. The last few years, I've realized that advice may not always be good for you. You take it, and I personally also munch on it like it's some junk ass food, but after the end of it, why do I feel like shit? And it is not just the people who are addicted to social media, but even the ones that are not. Even the ones that literally spend maybe half an hour a day on social media get sucked into this toxic cycle. And it's not just social media. You walk around, you meet somebody, be it your neighbor, you open the door, and everybody is ready to give advice. You talk to your parents, you tell what's going on, and without even knowing exactly what's going on at your work, they will have a piece of advice. And the thing is, people give advice so confidently these days because I feel like social media has given this freedom, but to some also the entitlement of giving advice as if they are getting paid for it. And I feel that people have forgotten to draw the line between where to stop giving advice. Like they can go on and on and on for hours. Take something as simple as being a night owl or waking up early. So I'm personally a night owl. I can get my best work done at night. Does not mean that I don't want to wake up in the morning, because there's most of the people will say waking up in the morning at 5 o'clock and giving 2 hours is the most productive you can ever be. Maybe that's true. But I've tried it, did not work out. Tried it many times. I feel like shit in the morning, but at night I can extend 2 hours and get work done. So, what is the problem in that, right? At the end of the day, I think people have forgotten that the outcome is more important than what you're actually doing, in the sense like people are so stuck in implementation phase or trying things out phase that we never reach the outcome, and then we are stuck feeling so much of guilt. The whole guilt trip is a totally different story, because I don't even know the stranger talking about uh, why she is trekking so much, why she is working out so much. Great to be fit, by the way. But if all I get out of it is guilt, then I may as well not see it. And a lot of these trends are very much there on social media these days, especially, or WhatsApp forwards, don't forget them, where uh, you need to drink this to lose weight. You need to journal every day to feel better. And trust me, I also wanted to journal so badly, and I have bought some really cute journals, hoping that I will someday journal. But it just, for the love of God, I cannot. I cannot. I sit down to write and I'm like, what do I write, man? My mind is so chaotic. I cannot write these thoughts down into words in a pretty cute journal. And don't get me wrong, most of this advice is good, but we consume so much of it that it is humanly impossible to implement all of that in our daily life. We need like 9 lives, like a cat, to be able to actually get some outcome out of that. Somewhere along the way, I think with too much information available, we have forgotten what the word advice actually means. Earlier we used to think a lot about our decisions and then go to somebody who's a lot more experienced than we are, that we used to trust a lot, and then ask them for their advice. And then they used to say some wise words based totally on their experience, not based on some information that they got from a WhatsApp forward. And then they used to very wisely tell us. I mean, I remember doing that as a child as well, going to someone older than me, or going to a friend or a cousin who's older than me, and then they are giving me this very wise advice, which sounded also so believable, like, yeah, that makes sense. But now all of that is just dead, and that's so sad. All I see is absolute strangers who are ordering me around how to live my life or what habits I should have. If you don't listen to me, you're going to be poor. If you don't listen to me, you're going to die young. I mean, I know sounds very exaggerated, but sometimes I genuinely, I think, take it too far. And as might be the case with many people, we take it too far. Everybody is doing this, but I am not. Why am I not listening to everybody else? When I started Perfect Eat, I did what any founder, first time founder, does not have anybody from a business background would do. I knew that I want to have a clothing brand, and the niche would be that it is for petite girls. That's all I knew. And here I was like, okay, now you know what, I have all this network, because I've had some amazing professors during my MBA, and I have their contacts. I have to get in touch with them. I have to get all the advice possible before I build anything, before anything else. Just jump onto that obvious thought of, chalo, let's go and ask people that what should I do next. And I still remember, I called a professor from my college, very good professor, and I maybe spoke with him one time face to face when I was in college, and I called him hoping to get some inspiration and motivation, and I told him about my idea that I want to make clothing brand. It's for a little like slow fashion niche, everything. And I still remember what he told me. He said, okay, all this sounds good, but it sounds more like a hobby project than an actual business. I was so hurt. I was so sad after that call. I was like, what? But if I think from his perspective, I think he made sense, because he didn't even know what exactly I was building. I just told him a very generic statement of, this is what I want to do, guide me with the next steps. I did not exactly know what I want to do myself. What is the brand niche? What kind of markets do I want to sell in? What will be my target age group? I didn't have clear answers to these questions, because first you need to have your own answers to even go to somebody for an advice. And I just felt so bad back then. But now when I think of it, I find it really funny. I find that entire call to be so funny today. And today, of course, if somebody tells me that, I respect your perspective, but I would not be so affected by an advice, right? So, because I've actually built something, nothing huge, but still, I would know where to filter out someone's words and where I actually need to take it. Point being that it is also very important to take advice at the right time. Sometimes some advice hurts you in places that it's very difficult to recover from. And that call really hurt me. Working for a brand, having my own brand, and being so exposed to social media is really overwhelming sometimes. And I still know that there is a lot of advice out there that I need to implement. But I know that I would rather not take an advice that I know I don't have the capacity to do, or it's not a death sentence if I don't implement it. I would rather take it slow, and I would keep my head a bit more clear. Because I think what has happened today is that we are first of all overloaded with information. So we bombard our head with things, and not just social media, but whatever a friend told us, whatever some neighbor told us or some relative told us. We say that I don't care about that, but somewhere it stays with us. I think we are losing confidence in ourselves. We are losing to keep our vision a bit more, like directed. It's just all over the place. So we are bombarded with information and we consume it also, and then we go to somebody to filter out the very same information that the same person probably bombarded on us. So it's a very weird cycle that we are stuck in, where we just keep expecting other people to solve our problems for us a lot of times. I get it that sometimes some people genuinely help out, but I really think that today, that filter of, like I said, in olden days, we used to get some wise advice that used to be believable. I think that filter is completely gone today. I don't think that we need to be very careful with what advice we take and what we don't. So if I could just give back one piece of advice to myself, or anybody else also who's starting off something new and it's like, I need to ask this person, that person, he was successful in this particular thing, so definitely they can help me out. I think it's okay. Take some time, sit with yourself, and first have some questions, or at least some definite answers of what you want, and then you can go and discuss it with somebody. But again, be very careful of who you ask and when you ask. Sometimes it hurts very bad, and you waste more time crying over it than you would have if you had probably just kept quiet in that moment and took your own advice instead of somebody else's. So here's something I'm curious about now. What is that one piece of advice, or one like trend that is going on social media or around us a lot, which you personally just cannot stand by? I would really like to know. I'm very curious. So do let me know in the comments. And I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you if you stuck around till now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next Sunday with yet another episode. Till then, take very good care of yourselves and take the right advice at the right time from the right people. Bye bye.